Christy Sides finished third. So for all the Indiana Fever fans that, like to say X, Y, and Z, she finished third. What are your thoughts about Christy Sides getting a vote for Coach of the Year?
The Indiana Fever made a big acquisition this season that might greatly benefit Caitlin.
Because of the new reset timeout, Indiana has not yet used. Chicago
never wanted her to not be aggressive and take shots. I really thought when she went out in transition after that free throw, I thought she was gonna take it to the rim or pull up right there. That would have been her. That would have been a great shot for her, for our team.
Kelly Koff, who previously won the titles with them, has returned to the Crays.
I was like, oh, wow, taken aback a little bit. I hadn't thought about the possibility of after Allison had resigned to take another job, that maybe Kelly might be available.
Ciovi is a victor and a close friend of Caitlin. She has said that she is fully on Caitlin's side and is eager to get started.
She's used to some shots that she's taken in the last few years that are just those deep shots, and she's going to get open looks. Got to figure out, like I gave her a rule the other day, she's got 0.5 seconds to make a decision.
Fever fans are going crazy on social media.
Unfortunately, it's not all positive because Lynn Dunn and Christie's sides continue to control the Fevers, which upsets supporters because she deliberately destroys Caitlin Clark by requiring painful touches for shots with a high percentage.
To get those stops, but we just tried to get the paint touches was our goal. Get the paint touches, whether that was feet in the paint or to get the ball into Aaliyah or Lissa's hands. We just, that percentage for us, if we get those high percentage shots, it just helps everything on the outside as well.
Fans believe that Christy Sides lacks sufficient experience. Without Caitlin, it would have been difficult to watch them persevere as they did toward the end of the season. Christy Sides had a terrible start to the season. It wasn't until Caitlin had a well-earned break that they began to dominate the basketball court.
60% from the three, you don't give yourself a chance if you let somebody shoot.
Fans are feeling more upbeat now that Kelly Koff has rejoined the Indiana Fever as president, and with good reason. Her legacy with the team is rich with achievement, having played a key role in creating the squad that won the 2012 WNBA championship.
She's going to be, leaving us to go run the Fever again. Super happy for her. She was a huge part of our front office and helping us build our team and run our team from day to day. And definitely going to miss Kelly, but also excited for her. And
after taking a short break to consider opportunities with the NBA's Indiana Pacers, the team's return during the WBA season comes at a crucial moment for the Fever, which is going through major changes both on and off the court. Her vision and leadership led the team to their first ever title, a milestone that left an enduring impression on the franchise's history.
I came on board interim, and I think I'd been on board for a couple of months, and realized it's going to take more than a couple of months. And then I said, okay, I think I can get us back on track, probably in 2 or 3 years. And I was very fortunate that Rick Fuson and Simons, gave me the resources to do what we needed to do. And here we are 3 years later in the playoffs.
Christy Sides demonstrates once more that she lacks the coaching abilities required for professional ball. Will the franchise continue to function like Girl Scout troops, or will Kelly Krakoff implement the necessary changes for the Fever?
They need to be talking and jawing with the refs. No, the officials, no. But at the same time, that's a conversation that Christy can have behind closed doors. And then address the press in a little bit different way. Because at the end of the day, Christy's not doing anything to help ease that, I feel. Good luck to you, Christy. That's all I'm going to say.
For fans who have watched the Fever's decline over the past few years, Koff's return signals a potential shift back to the winning culture she helped create. However, the team's current situation has been riddled with concerns, particularly regarding the leadership and management of the team. Lai Dunn, who was instrumental in the Fever's early success, is still in charge as general manager, guiding the team's roster-building process. It is said that the Fever have struggled to recapture their former glory since Koff left. The team has gone through multiple rebuilding phases, and despite some bright spots, the franchise has not been able to return to its championship-caliber form. Reviews of Dunn are not entirely consistent. Although she has received recognition for her talent spotting and ability to attract talented young players, the team's overall approach has not produced consistent outcomes.
We're all into this franchise, and we're ready as we move forward with somebody like Kelly leading us.
Your 3-year plan ended with making the playoffs.
Let's give that 3-year plan a hand.
Since taking over as head coach, Christy Sides has been, and especially the target of criticism, has had difficulty establishing herself as a coach, and supporters have questioned whether she possesses the tactical acumen or experience necessary to guide a team with a talent as exceptional and revolutionary as Caitlin Clark, unquestionably one of the WNBA's most captivating players. Clark has had an incredible season despite having a fever on her back and helping the club advance to the playoffs.
No, I think that's really hard because I think she draws so much attention.
Yeah.
You know, and then she sees her teammates wide open at times. Like she's going to make that pass. So that's just really hard to do when she's drawing so much attention.
It's difficult to imagine that the Fever would have advanced far in the playoffs without Clark. Clark's contributions have kept the club competitive, frequently carrying them through difficult times by herself. However, the team's total performance has fallen short of expectations, and the coaching staff has been mostly held accountable. The return of Krause Cup gives fans optimism that improvements will be done and that the appropriate people will take over to help Clark and bring out the best in the entire group.
You know, we met a veteran team in their home arena that had enormous playoff experience, and we didn't. And so now we've had some, and let's see how we respond to that.
However, even though Caitlin Clark is one of the WNBA's most dynamic and brilliant players, the club has struggled to realize its full potential despite Clark's brilliance. Many supporters and commentators have blamed this on Sid's inexperience leading a team with a player of Clark's caliber under head coach Christy Sides. Throughout the season, Sid's inexperience was revealed in a number of ways, including her poor game management, dubious substitutions, and failure to call timeouts at critical junctures, all of which contributed to the Fever's failure to live up to expectations.
Whether or not Christy Sides should have thrown it, or whether she did throw it, she threw it. Like they played, like Caitlin Clark played 19 minutes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Caitlin Clark in the second half played what, like 4 minutes? Caitlin Clark played 4 minutes, and Aaliyah Boston played 4 minutes in the second half.
One particularly noteworthy instance occurred late in the season during a crucial game when Clark and the opposing team seemed to have a heated argument on the court. Clark, who had been carrying the team's offensive and defensive burden, was obviously exhausted from leading the team on both ends of the court, and his annoyance with Sid's decision-making boiled over.
To kind of go off that, have you had that conversation in the 48 hours since Sunday with Caitlin, just about, only taking one shot the last 7 minutes, maybe being a little bit more unselfish? Have you had that talk with her?
No, I was really just worried about defense in these last 48 hours after watching the game. So that's what we focused on today.
Fans noticed these tense moments, and many started to wonder if Sides was the right choice for a team with a star like Clark. As the team center, Clark was frequently left to handle too much responsibility, and Sides failed to relieve the pressure. Signs of exhaustion were evident not only in her performance, but also in her interactions with teammates and coaches. Although Clark's endurance and competitive drive are undeniable, the overuse surely took its toll in crucial games where Clark's performance was crucial. She appeared physically exhausted and unable to execute the way she normally would. With Kelly Koff back in the fold, these issues will be addressed. Clark, who thrives in a fast-paced, high-intensity style of play, seemed especially worn down toward the end of many games. With her background and in-depth knowledge of the game, Krakoff can make the required adjustments to guarantee that Clark is backed by a coaching staff capable of effectively managing her skills. Krause Cup has consistently placed a high value on team cohesiveness and player development, and supporters are hopeful that she will see the need for a more seasoned coach to lead the team to victory. Due to her incapacity to manage the demands of leading a squad full of talented players, many supporters are calling for Sid's departure.
Caitlin need to be talking and jawing with the refs. No, the officials, no. But at the same time, that's a conversation that Christy can have behind closed doors. And then address the press in a little bit different way. Because at the end of the day, Christy's not doing anything to help ease that, I feel. Good luck to you, Christy. That's all I'm going to say.
Fans are worried that with Sides in charge, the team will remain unduly dependent on Clark to win games, which could cause burnout and frustration for the star player. Caitlin Clark is a generational player with unmatched skills who needs a coach who can maximize her potential by creating a system that doesn't rely solely on her to carry the load game after game. Without the right support and a strategic overhaul, There is a genuine fear that Clark's immense talent will be wasted, leaving the team stuck in mediocrity and unable to make a serious playoff push. In addition to his difficulties, Lin Dunn's time as general manager has drawn criticism. Although Dunn has a long league career and was instrumental in the Fever's previous success, her present management has generated controversy in a recent interview. Dunn joked that he wanted a third game against the Connecticut Sun, downplaying the Fever struggles. "I apologize, but Manly Dunn had to go. This is crazy to make public, especially if she is being serious and not kidding."
Another message that as we move forward in free agency, we need to get some veterans that have played for championships.
There is cautious hope that Kelly Koff's return could herald a new age for the Fever in spite of these worries. There is hope that with Koch back in the fold, the Fever can restore the concentration and organization required to be successful. Koch is no stranger to success. She had a key role in creating the squad that won the 2012 WNBA championship, and her leadership is regarded as a significant asset. For a player like Caitlin Clark, who is just beginning what looks to be a Hall of Fame career, having a coach who can effectively manage her minutes and put her in the best position to succeed is essential. Clark is the kind of generational talent that can change the course of a franchise, but only if she is supported by the right leadership who knows how to balance her workload, protect her health, and surround her with the right complementary pieces can unlock even greater potential. Her experience combined with her in-depth knowledge of the franchise's culture could be just what the team needs to turn things around. Despite her good intentions and zeal, Christy Sides hasn't yet proven to be the coach who can take Clark and the Fever to the next level. Her inexperience has been revealed during critical moments, which has frequently led to poor game management and an excessive reliance on Clark. The impact on the Fever this season cannot be overstated. Her leadership and playmaking were the main reasons for the team's success, and even in games where the Fever struggled, it was frequently Clark who kept them competitive by making crucial defensive plays and hitting clutch shots. If Kelly Krakow chooses to hire a new coach with more experience and a better understanding of game management, it could be the turning point that Fever fans have been longing for. The right coach would not only give Clark the structure and support she needs to succeed, but would also implement a system that maximizes the contributions of the entire roster. She has been indispensable due to her ability to manage the game's tempo and her poise under pressure, but as the season went on, it became apparent that she was being overworked.
Best player you've gone against? In college, it's been probably Caitlin, Aaliyah Boston.
Even though Clark is unquestionably capable of carrying the team on her back, depending too much on one player, regardless of how talented, is not a sustainable strategy for long-term success and runs the risk of reducing Clark's effectiveness over time through burnout and fatigue.
She got rest, the schedule not as demanding, and now you're seeing Caitlin Clark. And for everybody who talked about, she's just a shooter, she's already set the all-time rookie assist record. For somebody who's the greatest scorer in college basketball history, her ability to be able to find the open person, it's something that you're born with.
Fans are curious to see how the Fever's off-season plans would change with Krauskopf's return. The fan base is beginning to realize that the organization needs to make big adjustments in terms of player acquisitions, roster construction, and coaching staff. Since Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, the Fever had a chance to develop around her in her prime. Ultimately, Koff's return to the Fever couldn't have happened at a more ideal moment. As the off-season approaches, all eyes will be on Krauskopf and her decisions. Fans are hoping that her return will usher in a new era of success for the team, one where Clark is surrounded by a coaching staff and roster that allows her to reach her full potential. The team is at a crossroads with a young superstar in Caitlin Clark and a fan base that is desperate for change and progress. With a player like Clark, the window for success is narrow, so the Fever must seize it right away. In the upcoming months, as the team gets ready for the upcoming season, fans will be closely watching to see if Koff can deliver the changes they've been demanding, and with Caitlin Clark leading the charge on the court, there's no doubt that the Fever have the potential to be a dominant force in the WNBA for years to come. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now. The team needs to address the coaching staff's concerns, make sure Clark is being managed properly, and assemble a team that can contend for championships year after year. If they can do that, there's no reason why the Fever can't return to the top of the WNBA and add another championship to their legacy.